Hey, this is comedian Flame Monroe, and welcome to this week's episode of Laugh and Learn. It is almost Halloween. Ooh, but we'll be on this next week. In fact, we will have an episode that will drop on Halloween, which is my co-host's birthday, Bobbi Clifford. Her birthday, she was born on Halloween. How you
Oh,
toots?
you're so full of bananas. Hi, how are you?
I'm very good. Hello to our producer, Mr. Aaron. Hey, Aaron. We are here, ladies and gentlemen. It has not been such a hectic week, but we are getting very close to something that has the entire country and world on the edge of their seats. I'm telling you, I'm biting my real nails, my fake nails, my toenails, my hang nails, my every kind of nail, my steel nails. I am
Mm,
petrified at the outcome of what this may be, but I am as a registered voter, and I make sure that I'm registered by going to vote.org to make sure that they
hmm
have not illegally removed my name off the ballot. That I am going to do my part, and my part is voting for the candidate of my choice. I hope that you all are doing the same thing. I'm not telling you who to vote for, Kamala Harris, but I'm hoping that you guys vote for whoever floats your boat. Now, make sure that the candidate that you vote for might float your boat on voting day, and the next day he might sink your ship.
it's true.
Remember that. I did say he might sink your ship, and there's only one man running. Well, that's also suspect because here lately, I don't know, DJ
Ugh.
T been doing some real strange things lately. Now let me just point out a state of fact right quick, y'all. Because when he won in 2016, day one that he got in office, he took down the LGBT website off the page from the White House page. But here lately, for him, they say he's against the gays, he's against the trans, and he said some outlandish stuff. But here lately, he's been showing me some very suspectful things. Now I know he's straight, but he played the YMCA song, which is by the Village People, which was the gayest group in the 80s, good 80s, 90s, 2000s to this day. They one of the gayest groups. Then he hired Mike Pence as his vice president when he did win. And, there's rumors about Mike Pence. There's some old pictures of him in little booty shorts and little cut midriffs. Very cozy, standing up to next to another
Mm.
man. Then Rudy Giuliani was his lawyer who got in full drag and kissed Donald Trump while he was in drag. Then he hired J.D. Vance right now to be his prospective vice president, who did full drag in college, maybe once or twice. And now he was somewhere recently where he was discussing the size of, rest in peace, Arnold Palmer's
Can you
penis.
imagine?
And the way he was discussing another man's penis with all of this joy and infatuation and admiration, I'm like, well, I know he's not gay, but I'm damn sure not feeling straight right now. Or is it just me, Bobby? Was I the only person who noticed that?
No, I think the world noticed it, and it was completely tasteless. What does that have to do about politics? People who make a decision. Everybody was worried about Joe Biden. Joe Biden didn't make tasteless comments like that about somebody. I mean, his family was like disgusted. Like, who talks like that?
Well, to be fair, he did talk about a woman's woo-ha, so he did get the opportunity to talk about a man's poo-pah.
Ugh,
Oh!
yucca.
It
Not for
was the
me.
way he was so joyful with it. And so, and I'm gonna tell you, as the man in me, because it's a couple of people over here. There's he, she, we. He cash the check, she make the money, we spend it.
Hmm
But the man in me had, when I was a teenager, when I was in locker rooms, if another man, and this is just coming from a very authentic locker room male perspective, when another man is in the dressing room or in the locker room with another man, and he's not gay, but he sees the other guy naked, and the other guy is well endowed. Please understand that the man who is not as well endowed as the man he looks at sees that. And in his head, he's like, damn, I need one of them. But he's not going to express that to anybody. He's not going to say it out loud. It is just internally that, of course, it's penis envy. I'm like, damn, I want a hammer like that. Now, I've never experienced penis envy. I was always good. But that's just the truth. But to publicly, like you said, Bobby, you are running for the president of the United States. You are on a platform with millions and millions of people watch, and this is what you decide to talk with so much infatuation, Bobby. I was like, damn, Trump, come back. Like I do you, Bobby. Come back. He just went off the deep end on talking about this man's penis size. It was, yeah,
It
yeah.
was there was no decorum, and there was no reason for it. When we have issues like a war over in Ukraine that is just exploding, in the Middle East, on all sides of Israel, all putting us in danger. We have that. We have immigration. He's been shut the hell up about the economy, and you're talking about somebody's peepee like that. How is that resolving it? I want policies, and I want how you're going to push the country forward, not how you wish you had more than 8 inches. Ugh.
It kind of makes you think maybe he is making up for some shortcomings. Maybe, I
Again,
don't know. I've never
size,
seen it.
size.
I've never seen.
Yeah.
He does have an obsession with size. But that's usually crowd size. I don't know about
Oh, I
that
think it all.
size.
I think it's all the same thing. But I do think, like, everybody worried about Joe having dementia or whatever. These are statements that, like somebody that was saying, you just don't talk like this.
This next point of view is strictly Flame Monroe's. This is not part of iHeart or Laugh and Learn or Bobby's or Aaron's. This is strictly my conspiracy theory because Trump has the popularity, but
Mm,
Vance has the temperament that I believe now that Trump is a Trojan horse to
mm.
carry in Vance because now I think that they see Vance is Ivy League educated and he's not paid for Ivy League educated. He actually earned that and some people paid for him, but he really got the degree, so he's
No,
pretty
I
bright
think he's a bright man. Yeah.
and he is he all their policies he's with. He says like he said he'll even make up a conspiracy. His goal is to win to get those Republicans on his side. I believe now that but he does not have the popularity to win the presidency. Trump does. So if they get Trump in and then Trump, because we watching the slow demise of this man every day, every time he opens his mouth and speak. They see it as well, but they're so focused and laser focused on what they want that they will get him in to win if possible, and then he'll step down, and then they'll have Vance automatically become the president. And I think since Vance already like Indian women, it will be a no brainer for him to pull in Little Feather, aka Nikki Haley. I'm telling you, this is that's my conspiracy because
That's it.
that's what I believe. They can control Vance. It's not that they can't control Vance, but Vance will listen to them. He's not a tyrant. He will, and he showed us how he masterly moves through the water on that debate with Tim Walz
He
because
did.
we expected him to be a nightmare, but
Yeah.
he moved through that water
No.
very strategically like a shark.
He was respectful, I will say that. So if I could give him anything over Trump, Trump wasn't. Look how he treated both Harris and Biden. He was totally disrespectful. Vance knows that there is decorum, there is a place for things. Things that go a certain way, and there's a certain way to have things done. That's all I'm going to give him. You could be right. You could be right. On this day, I'm going to mark it
But he
down in my
still has
magical
the
book.
radical, and he still has the radical ideas that they have, and he will pass Project 2025. And if
Mm.
he gets in office, he will be the president for the next 8 years, if not indefinitely, because they have already planted that seed.
No, I agree with the 2025 for sure, because we've been talking about this since the beginning when we first started talking about it. It's not Trump's playbook. It is the MAGA right GOP playbook. No matter what Republican was going to get in, they were going to try to push some of the agendas: less government, more control, et cetera, et cetera. And again, we've spoken about it. It's been around for quite a while. It's just been built on and built on and built on. It went from like a 60-page document to, I think, a 922-page document. So, yeah, and I mean, and God bless them. They shut down a whole uh McDonald's for Trump to go in and shake his fries. And don't you think it's funny that at the same time, all of a sudden they have listeria in McDonald's at the Big Mac? They got big problems with it.
Well, apparently he don't have the magic touch, or the golden. Maybe he have the orange touch.
It is. But while he's doing that, she is standing on the picket line with the McDonald's worker, trying to get them at least a decent minimum wage of $15 and above, because these poor people working multiple hours, multiple jobs, just trying to put food on the table. It's still,
And the cost of living where he was. I mean, the minimum wage where he
Mhm.
was at that McDonald's was $7.25 an hour. If you honestly sit down and think about that, if you go through a fast food restaurant right now by yourself And if you decide that you want to get a supersize or a meal, it is more than $7.25. You can't even afford to feed yourself working an hour there.
I get when I go, I get the number seven, which is two cheeseburgers because I give one to the dog and I have one myself. And I think that's 10.40. They would make just $290 gross. That's before taxes to working those hours. $290. They couldn't even afford. They would have to work 2.5 hours to be able to take the taxes out to have the meal I just told you about.
This is what we're talking about, and so many people, keep hollering about the economy. Biden was afforded this economy from Trump's term, not the other way around. He didn't acquire this. I mean, he didn't create this. He acquired this. This was he and grand. It was grandfathered in. He and
Yeah,
grand. By Trump's economy was grandfathered into Biden's administration, you guys. And I know y'all keep thinking this and that and the third, but you keep forgetting that we were stuck in the middle of a pandemic
that's
for
what
two
people
years. You were
forget.
stuck in your
Hmm.
house. You were stuck in your house, and the leader of the free world, our leader at the time, because he was my president too. I didn't vote for him, but he was still my president. Our leader at the time said that it wasn't real. It would go away. Then turned right back around and said that inject bleach or Lysol in your arm would put it up under a UV light. We were misguided, misconstrued, discarded, just remember that millions of people die, or a million people die. Hundreds of thousands of Americans were dying every day, and you were stuck in your house for 2 years. You could gas prices was low because it was supply and demand. Why I need gas? I can't go no damn where.
No, it's true. People they complain about inflation and they have right. People are feeling it in their pocket. But we're coming off of the overspending of Trump. So people
Yeah.
had like $10 more in their pocket because he did those tax cuts that put us into the trillions of spending. But the inflation was across the world. In fact, our inflation is down. The world inflation right now is 5.8%, and they're hoping to have it 3.5 by the end of the year. So it's slowing because of the pandemic, because it's over. I know that Vice President Harris is talking about price gouging. She will get them, but it will come down. It's not just that; it's also what we're willing to spend for some things. But we wouldn't have had half of this, if you want to call it inflation. Uh, if it wasn't for the pandemic, and people have to just they have to think about that.
And remember during his presidency, right before, he
Yeah,
complained about President Obama taking too many golfing vacations, and which he only took the required ones that he was able to took, which I think was two a year. But
yeah.
Trump took, and Obama took uh, golfing vacations on his dime, not on the government's dime. Trump was so savvy with all of his golfing expeditions that he played on his own court and made the
You're
American
right.
taxpayers, myself included, pay
Yep.
for his time under while he was the sitting president. Y'all keep missing everything or forgetting, but I am a constant reminder that he kept saying that the coronavirus came from China when they said that the only thing that came from China was the officials that he made stay in his hotel for $10 million, which is another conflict of interest because you can't mix business with pleasure when you are the sitting president of the United States. But he got over like a fat rat, and now he was given full immunity by the Supreme Court. So anything that he does once he crossed the picket line, if we let him, I mean the finish line, if we let him cross the finish line, he can do anything he wants to at any given time. And you see his erratic behavior. I don't even think that he's aware of some of the things that he does until after he watches the tape once it's played. Something is going on. Y'all see it. Y'all see it just like I see it. I got four eyes, but y'all see it.
It's true. And the other thing that that really worries me that I've been listening to is all of his people, and I just mean even Republicans. I was listening to Sununu, the governor of New Hampshire, who was sticking up for him. He's talking about this enemy from within, which he means anybody that goes against him. And he even came out with Pelosi. He starts coming out with names.
Yeah.
and those are the people that he want. Are you out of your mind? And then Sununu's angry because our rhetoric is not, it's not helping. We shouldn't be doing that in the rallies. Everybody knows Trump is going to say crazy things, so because he always does it, that's okay. But it's not okay for Kamala to actually say exactly what's actually going on, what he's repeating, what he's saying.
About about that the enemy from within. I want to talk about that. Let's unpack that. So with that whole with the enemy from within, when I tell you he has given out many a dog whistle, but that was an explosion of a dog whistle when he has already said publicly out of his mouth, his words,
Hmm.
not mine, that he would use our own military against us. Mind you, that would be people who are in the military fighting veterans' families, people who have put their lives on the line and fought for this country. Not just regular Americans like me, but I'm talking about people who are actually in the military because if you don't have on your uniform or whatever, and they come and storm your house, they're not going to know that you ex-military or that you probably present military. You're going to turn that is turning your family against your family. You guys got a choice. That to me, Bobby, was some scary shit. Let me just say it just like that was some scary shit right there.
It, and that was coupled with, I mean, I will tell you, I'm almost not sleeping because of this stuff, because of the nonsense. I can't stand the rhetoric on either side. But I was watching GMA this morning, and that's kind of touchy feely, and I like it. But they had John Kelly, they said, who was the longest chief of staff for Donald Trump. He is a Marine Corps general, I believe. He was retired. He said that Trump was the general definition of a fascist. He prefers a dictator approach, if he could get away with it. And he said that Trump was jealous or admired Hitler and how dedicated his generals and his military leaders were to him. And I thought, sweet Jesus. I mean, I
You
don't
know,
know if
Bobby,
it's.
when I saw John Kelly speak, it was it wasn't the words that he said as much as it was the delivery of I need you all to hear me.
That's exactly
That
it.
it
Yep.
was so concise and so pure
Yep.
that he of course he can't just come right out and say the real words that he really wanted lower the boom, but it was the way he delivered the message, like god damn it. And I was reading the underplay for the overplay, which I always say. I was reading between the lines of how he brought that message. It was so heartfelt, and so I need y'all to hear me because this is scary. This is scary. I'm like, wow,
And
girl.
these are lifelong Republicans, and I do believe that they will go back after this election. They'll go back to the side that they should be on. I believe that it is difficult. I think that we have heard Harris say that she will have a Republican on her cabinet. I believe that actually could be Liz Cheney, who's been stumping with her. And I believe
Hmm.
Liz Cheney will go right back after this election. But these are people who believe in the Constitution, they believe in the country over their party. And it is probably hurting their heart to have to do this. But they have to do it because the more and more stuff that keeps surfacing, it really does frighten me.
And she also said that she would have a moderate on the on her
Yeah,
cabinet, which I think is fantastic because
yeah,
we have to speak to all facets of
yeah.
Americans because that's the liberty, that's the choice, that's the thing that we have. But you guys are not listening to what this man is saying. His rhetoric. You are hearing the he is you and you is him, which is the truth. Y'all are the same people. But I'm telling you right now, he's going to sink y'all ship. Y'all going to put him on a ship, and then he's going to get on that ship by himself and leave y'all out in the cold, just like he did last weekend with those people out there when he left them with the buses. He does not care about you. He does want your vote. His own words was, even if you're on your deathbed, get up and go vote. Just get your vote. Baby, okay. He is going to abandon you all. That should be the name of this episode. You guys will get abandoned. He's going to abandon you all because he keeps showing y'all that. And what y'all, everybody loves to quote Oprah's line when somebody show Maya Angelou's line
Mm.
when people show you who are they believe. He has shown you all a couple of times.
And he's
He
laughing
left
about
y'all
it,
in the
Slan.
cold last,
Yeah.
and he mocks you all, but y'all keep jumping in like y'all hypnotized. Please get unhypnotized because we're all at stake. So what day will he get erratic while holding the Bible upside down and hiding in the bunker and push the codes and then say, "Oh, I changed my mind"? Because once they're on the way, they're on the way.
Yeah, there's no and please be careful about the messages. There were a bunch of actors that had come out today and about warnings about AI because their own voices were being taken, and they were comparing them to the AI voice and to their voice, and they said, I got to be honest, I wouldn't even know the difference between them. They weren't people that I actually knew. So I'm not going to mention names, but don't if somebody's calling you and telling you not to vote, or there's this or there's that or the research it. Don't just believe what you're seeing for phone calls, etc., or stuff that's coming in the mail. Vet that, uh, because you don't know who it could be from outside sources outside the country. It could be from either camp. I'm not going to blame one over the other. um,
I tell you what, this AI is taking over, y'all. This wasn't even on our topic, but we got to talk about it. AI, let me tell you something. If you're a good American, if you were raised as a good American, don't
mhm,
matter religion, size, color, nationality, sexuality, I don't give a damn. But if you were raised as a good American and you were taught that when a guest comes in your home, you offer them some place to sit and you ask them would they like something to drink.
mhm.
If you got AI in your way, always offer them a cup of water. It can be room temperature or ice. If you really want to get rid of the ass, put a little salt in it.
So
Because
pour it
AI
on
is
them.
taking over. And they'll give it to offer them a cup of water every day. It is taking people's jobs. It is cutting hours and salaries. It is making people lose their insurance because they don't make enough hours to actually qualify for insurance. And you guys letting it happen because listen, I'm against it. Not completely against AI, but I'm against all that BS because even when I go to the grocery store and they say you want to do self checkout, my famous line is, "I don't fucking work here."
No, I don't. Part of that, a piece of that, and you and I have spoken about this before, even on here, is that some of the lower jobs, the young kids don't want to do them. They don't want to collect carts at the grocery store. They don't want to do bag checking. They don't want to do any of it. And the stores want to get you in there spending money in their store, and they want you to be able to get out with your food. So I think part of it is that. But when all of a sudden they realize that people are willing to do stuff, they can. You are right. It can kind of take over. There are some good things about AI. We just have to, it has to be used for good, not evil.
Bobby, they're gonna be selling robots for 20,000. Are you gonna buy you one?
Can I get a boy one?
You can get a boy. Oh, Bobby, you talking about a piece? You talking about a piece of rod? Oh my God, that might take a piece of rod to. Maybe Trump should get one and name it Arnold Palmer. Oh, ha, 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 ha.
Honest to God, that's hysterical. I was listening to some of that, like a million shows. I'm sure doing the same. Everything is politics right now because everything is so crazy in this particular election. And it was Katie Couric, and she was on with like a real brilliant talking head, and she said, "Do you think that if Trump doesn't win, he loses, that he'll go to jail?" So the person said, "Well, I don't know if he'll go to jail. Do I think that he'll be punished? He's done so many crazy things, and this actually was a Republican, crazy things. I think he's going to be called to the carpet, but it might be like an anklet at Mar-a-Lago that he'll have to stay." And I immediately thought, "Oh my God, it'll be him and Melania. She'll be in jail just as much as he will. She'll be trapped in that house with them. God bless her.
I don't believe he'll ever do house arrest. I don't believe he'll ever go to jail. I don't
I don't
believe
care
he'll
about
ever
any of
really.
that.
I don't believe he'll ever receive any severe punishment behind all the things that he's been accused of and some things that he's been found guilty of. Because the way this America is set up, he's rich. He is very well connected, so he gets a pass. And I'm sorry to say that that's just how it is.
Mm,
I don't care what he does not get as far as the criminal shit goes. I just don't never want him to hold office to have
that's
any
right.
say so over my generation, the generations after me,
Hmm.
the generations after that, because he is not for the American people in my eyes. He is not for them. He is for self. He only wants to be the president so that he does not go to jail or don't have to face all of these criminal cases because if he wins, all that's going to go away. And everybody who tried to prosecute him, he's already said he's coming after you with everything. He may not remember to change his draws, but he's gonna remember who's been mean to him.
Oh, I don't. When I think of John Kelly, I think of Millie too. General Millie. I'm like, you guys better be careful. The one thing that I was I was like, yay, at least people will be voting, is early voting. They said people are coming out in record numbers for the early voting. And strangely, Republicans are coming out too, because typically it's been Democrats that do the early voting. So some people get a false sense of security. I think that happened with Hillary Clinton, that she was handily going to win the race because she was doing so well with the early voting. Not necessarily. So but both are coming out, so people are actually voting. I think it was North Carolina already had 200 early votes. They said they're far exceeded already the 2020 early voting numbers. So at least people are putting their money where their mouth is. I can't
Well,
stand
we
when
have to
people
remember
bitch.
we have to remember that, and as much of us, the half of the country that don't want to vote for him, there's a whole nother half that does.
Oh, absolutely. And the overseas votes, the Republicans are all up in arms because I guess 1.6 million votes went overseas, and they feel that they could be fraudulent votes. I'm sure you have to sign them and all that stuff. There are people who are students overseas that have jobs just for a season, for so many months overseas. But where the margins are going to be so tiny this year, you're going to need those votes. You're going to need those ballots.
Yeah. And again, I'm not trusting the mail-in ballots. We early voting has started, and thank you to Georgia because Georgia made history by
Hmm.
having the most turnout. And thank you to so many people who are coming out early voting, and that's whichever side you represent. But we haven't done it here. But me and my kids sat down together as a family. We did our ballots, Bobby, and
I love it.
I can't wait for us to walk them in. Our early voting starts, I think, on the 26th, I believe. But we're gonna walk ours in on Monday. I'm gonna make a live video playing "Ain't No Stopping Us Now" because
Oh,
it ain't no stopping us now.
I want to see you
And
dance your way in. You danced the last time. I want to see a better dance. I want to see you
oh,
limbo.
I can't bust up my moves, Bobby. I might bust something else.
I want to see a little shake shimmy all the way in. Speaking of Georgia, did you see that the Georgia Supreme Court maintained their block on the new election rules? The Republicans are pushing to have the new rules put into place prior to this election, and they said no way. It's going to have to wait for the next election.
Oh my
So
God, Jesus.
you go.
What I do admire about the goddamn Republican Party, though, I must say, whoo, if ride or die was a face of people, but they know it, live it, drink it, and believe it. Because they are ride or die for their people.
They are. They're smart. I mean, and we're not. I got to say, Democrats aren't. They're a hot mess.
Well,
Um,
hold on now, Bobby. I ain't gonna say we ain't smart now. We can be a little
no,
sketchy, but not smart.
we're smart. We're not. What I should I Let me clarify. We're not unified. And
Yeah,
we
exactly.
can fight within. And remember when you used to have there'd be a knock at the door. There could have been a big fight going on in the background, and your mother would give you the look, and all that business was to stay inside the house. You was to keep your mouth shut. Not us
Yeah,
Democrats. We hang ourselves out, and we call somebody does something that's slightly wrong. Everybody's up in arms and they want the person
yeah,
pulled. That's not right. Discuss amongst yourself, even with President Biden. He's a perfect example. All of everything that had happened should have been discussed inside the house, and
yeah,
then let him come out and say, this is what I've decided. But I mean, it's pretty amazing. They're saying still, even with Kamala and with the energy that she had, Trump and Kamala they are like the two lowest um polling people. Like I think his favorability rating is at 44%, and hers is like 46%. It's kind of amazing. Even with all these people crazy up in arms, they still people aren't loving them.
yeah. I want to discuss that because I got a email from a fan who said they had a problem with something that I said. So recently, I got an inbox from a fan who loves the show. By the way, they love you, Bobby, on the show too. When I
Oh,
said that I put a post up and said, well, to be very clear, I'm more so voting against Project 2025 and him than I am for her. But I'm still voting for her. I thought I made that very clear that it's not that I'm unsure of who I'm voting for, but I'm giving you the other side that so many people are worried about. Oh, I don't know her. Oh, is she black enough? Oh, what's she gonna do for our people? Or hear me when I tell you, this is not even the time to put that on a scale of which outweighs the other, because the other is probably the end. Probably.
Yeah,
This one is giving
come.
you this one is giving your children and you hope
Yeah.
and another day, another chance, another opportunity, another year, because the other one is promising chaos. He is an agent of chaos and he's promising it. It'd be different if we found out on the tape that he said it, but he says it in plain sight to your face.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, I don't get it. Don Lemon had, I was telling you, I was watching, he was going on doing the polling. He went into, I think it might have been a hair salon. And at least the women that you could see were all black women. And he was one black gentleman. And he was asking them who they were going to vote for and why. And they weren't going to vote for Kamala Harris because you just said she's not black enough. She's not educated enough. World leaders, they didn't want to worry about world leaders thinking she was serious enough.
I saw that. Hmm.
And I thought, these are women. I said, I was actually flabbergasted. I said, educate. She's got more education than him. She's been a senator. She's been an attorney general. I mean, she's a sitting vice president. What are you talking about? And you were worried. You think Trump, world leaders think Trump, they laugh at him.
Oh,
They think
okay.
that, oh, please. I was very
So
disappointed.
so please, to my female audience, I hope I say this the right way. But when I hear stuff like that coming from a woman, I don't care what color she is, it makes me think when y'all say you wanted women's rights, you wanted to be treated equally
Hmm.
as a man, do you already feel substandard that you can't even hold up somebody who represents what you are? Because that's a woman. And I'm not saying she should be the president because she's a damn woman, but and y'all saying she's not smart compared to what? Compared to the other one?
She's
Are
the
you
most qualified. And the only
are
reason
you
I
not
mentioned
hearing?
color was
Well, I
because
know what you're saying,
the
Bobby,
black,
but I'm
yeah.
asking to the women that are saying that they're not voting for Kamala Harris. Do you hear yourself? Do you understand that this man wants to have control over what you do with your body? But you scream rape. Sometimes it be false rapes, or sometimes you went too far. You didn't mean to do it. I get all of that. None of that will matter. None of that will matter, especially if you're a woman of color or you're not a woman of privilege, because the police will have a free reign to do anything and everything that they want to do to you, which not means just killing you. They could kill you and get away with it. It's way worse things they could do to you. There's way worse things they could do to you. Killing is over. But you would have to live with some of the other horrific things that they could get away with, because he said that he would give the police full autonomy, which means that they could do anything they want to. Now, and I'm a convicted criminal. And in this country, I know for a fact that a convicted criminal cannot apply to be a police officer, but the Fraternal Order of Police back the convicted criminal to be the president. I'm
I
talking to
know.
you because somebody didn't hear me. I ain't talking. I'm talking to the audience, Bobby. I'm talking
Yeah.
to you because somebody didn't hear what I just said. Did you hear what I just said? You setting
Yeah.
yourself up. I don't get that. I will never understand that kind of logic. And I'm not the smartest person in the room, but I'm in the room by myself, so technically I am. Uh, but do you hear what I'm telling you? That if you were a veteran, or if you got a senior who worked your whole life and saved, they took taxes out of you every week that you were dedicated to your job. Social Security will go away. Disability programs will go away. Baby,
And a
I
leg
don't
up
know.
will
I don't
go
know
away.
how rich do you want to be, or how rich do you need to be? This is spoken from somebody who is not rich. But I mean, seriously, how rich do you need to be, Bobby?
You need to be very rich because let me tell you something. Because I work in healthcare, if you got, because that's Medicare going away, that's potentially the Affordable Care Act going away. If you get sick once, it's nothing for me to see two, three, $4 million medical bills. You wouldn't have coverage, so you have nobody to negotiate a rate. You'd pay the rate. Um, and this is all, I also want to just remind everybody that when you're talking about full autonomy, you're not speaking about necessarily Project 2025, although it is built into that. Back in um, December, I believe it was, the Washington Post had reported that Trump said he would give them blank, he would give the police, blanket protections. So he's saying that personally. Now it's coupled with what's written in 2025, if you want to believe, that he can get that out there. It's some
And
scary
that's very,
stuff.
and that's, yes, and Bobby, and I'm not even just saying that as a black person, even though it's double
Yeah.
time scarier for me and as a trans person. But say it was you, Bobby, and you having a bad day, or the officer had a bad day, male or female, or and they pull you over, and you're a very inquisitive person. Oh my God, y'all know that, y'all been here with us for a year. And you said, "Why? Oh my God, what did I do? Why are you pulling me over?" And they just feel threatened by you just asking that as innocently as you did, and pull a weapon out on you, whether it's a gun or a taser. First of all, the trauma of you having something to staring me in my face that could potentially kill me is going to do one
Mm,
thing to me. And then if you a slip of the hand or a siren go off, or you hear a boom somewhere else, and you trigger and you shoot and kill me, nothing happens to them. This will happen to, or they miss you and hit your baby in the passenger seat.
I know, and I'm a pretty big target, so it wouldn't
Oh
take
my
much to
God.
have to
Oh
to
my
have to
God,
hit
Bobby,
me.
knock it off. It's just crazy the way some people are listening to the logic. And I understand that racism is real in this country, but has it overshadowed everything else? Has it overshadowed logic?
Yeah.
Because you want to say you're the greatest uh, race on, okay, well, you can have that. If you're not gonna put a fool in charge to make us just go against each other because, oh, you're the greatest race, so the greatest race gets to do what? You can say you're the greatest race if that makes you feel good about yourself. Shit, I identify as a trans woman. That makes me feel good about me. So if you want to identify as the greatest race, have at it. If that's what you need to do to make you feel good, because that's
Mm.
all it's looking like.
No, it's crazy. I mean, it really is. It's crazy. And then Elon Musk giving away $1 million.
Well, I don't know why he ain't called me. First of all, let me just say that I changed my man Elon for 1 million, but you gotta give me 1.4 because somebody gotta pay the taxes. If I'm gonna get 1 million, I need the
Right?
full on million. Shit.
He's they have to sign a petition. I'm dying to see what's actually written in the small print to see do they get the check and can they run to the bank type of thing. But they have to sign a petition about free speech and gun rights and blah blah blah. The Justice Department this afternoon came out and said that they don't believe it's legal. They're going to be looking into it. But what did we say he wants to be? He wants to be the Secretary of Cost Cutting, right? Elon Musk,
Yes,
a man who's given
yes.
$1 million out to sign a petition. You think he's going to be
And
cost
and
cutting?
and he is paying for he buying that job, Bobby Cliff. That's what this is all about. He's buying his
Absolutely.
position, just like the judge who let him off. What's her name, Bobby?
Aileen Cannon. Yeah,
Aileen Cannon.
she's on the
This was
list
the
for
judge
Attorney
that he
General
appointed while he was the
in
president. Donald Trump
Florida.
appointed her and while he was the president, and then she was the one who kept stopping everything with the paperwork, the illegal paperwork that
Yep,
he took, the
down in
classified
Florida.
paperwork, and then she threw it all out, and now she is on the very short. I said the very short list to be the attorney general.
Hmm.
Oh, honey, it's been set up since 2015.
Yeah, no, absolutely crazy. But yeah, no, I mean they're all out stumping. Um, I mean, yesterday I think or Tuesday I think President Obama and Tim Walz were out stumping. Oh my God. You know how much I love President Obama and I love his swag. So they were in Detroit and Eminem came and announced him. And he comes out and he's singing Eminem's song while he's sing talking it. Oh my God, I just love him. And he says, I was really
Okay,
nervous, and
so
then he went into a
I
song.
saw that. You know, Obama got more swag than swag allowed.
Oh
But that
God.
Eminem, that white boy right there, I don't know whether he like plain or peanuts, but I be whichever kind of Eminem he need. Good God, oh my God, that white boy's so sexy to me. You know what I love about him? I love his steel cold eyes. Those eyes are so intense
Yeah.
and those lips are kissable. And I know you don't get down like that, I'm just talking out loud from afar. Don't do nothing. Don't be start making rap songs and sit down threats and shit. I love Detroit. But that white boy is and he is such a his presence is very calming.
He
It's
he,
something about
he
when he in the room. He don't look tall, but he seems very calming.
I think he's about your height, and he's gonna be a grandpa.
Or well, he can have that shit.
Yep, he's gonna be a grandpa. But she's been out. She's had her surrogates out. She was on when we were taping last week. She was on Fox News. I thought she held her own on Fox News. She's doing a town
What you talking
hall
about?
yesterday. Harris.
Oh, girl, I'm still on Eminem. Don't be jumping subjects when I ain't ready to
Oh
jump
well,
subjects.
it was. I wasn't. I'm sorry.
Ooh,
I went off Eminem, but I was talking about
Don't
the
dis
stumping.
girl. I'm trying to get on Eminem, and you trying to get off Eminem. Now make up your damn man, shit. Oh
Oh my
yeah,
God, you're
I
too
saw that,
funny.
and I love that Obama recited his lyrics. Obama's just too cool for words. It's
Oh
just
my
he was
God,
just oh he's just too cool for words.
he really
Okay,
is.
now
And
where we go? Now we talking about Vice President, potential President, next President Kamala Harris. And
so she
you know what irks me about the Republicans when they mispronounce her name. They
on
do it on
purpose.
purpose. I know they do.
That
But
bugs
y'all know
me.
her name is Kamala. Y'all know what her name is.
And you know what the worst is? Because they're saying it so much, I have to think about what I'm saying before I say it because I don't want to say it the wrong way. And it was her birthday on Sunday, and she was the big 6-0. God bless her. She looks pretty damn good. That's what the new 60
She,
looks like,
I tell you what, she look this good now, but if winning, if she wins,
right?
that first 4 years, she gonna look like baby, she gonna come out looking like oh my God, like like Betty White. Good Jesus, that lady gonna be looking old.
It is the truth.
That White House aged you. It aged the men, so I can only imagine what it's gonna do to the woman.
Well, it ages. I'm gonna clarify that. It ages the people who actually want to do the job and do the job well. Do you notice that one person came out not looking a whole lot different than when he went in? Because he wasn't working the 20-something hour days and he wasn't putting the time in. We know who that was.
He was playing golf off your tax money
Yeah. The peep.
on his own golf course and charging it to the government. Oh my God. But you want to cut Social Security. You want, baby, these people they've been taking taxes out these people check their whole lives. And that, man, y'all better hear me and hear me well.
Um, I tried to sign into the Chris Cuomo was a moderator for a town hall that JD Vance was doing. It was exclusively streamed on X. So I tried to sign in because I wanted to hear it. I couldn't get in, but there was a little like when you have to poke a button like a little survey thing on the outside, and it was asking
Mm-hmm.
like who you were going to vote for. So I wrote it down. 23% were for Kamala and 77% were for Trump, and I said, well, we know who's on X now. It's a Republican platform. It's not it used to be kind of 50-50. I never was able to get in though.
Let me be very honest and transparent on this day. 12 days before the election. I only watch X not for the headlines. I watch X for the lowlines. Good God, all the
I
porn
know.
that's on X, I'd never have to subscribe to porn again. Good Jesus,
I wouldn't even know to look for it. I mean, who would have thought that social media you could find porn? God
and
bless.
tons of it, and all kind of porn. Oh my God, I've seen things that I don't think I even tried. Okay, and that's questionable.
Well, you know who we should be telling? We should be telling Rudy Giuliani because he's going to be poor soon and not have any money to get porn
Oh,
because
maybe he'll
he's
start
going
an
to.
OnlyFans account. Would you
Oh,
subscribe? Oh, yuck.
yuck!
Bobby, you know you want to see Rudy Giuliani naked
No,
with a spread.
I already saw him melting once with orange stuff coming down his face. That was all I could get. Never mind down his leg. Gross. um he's going to turn everything over to those two ladies down
To
in
the
Georgia. I don't think he
uh-huh.
owns anything though. Like he had apartments, everything's tied up in lawsuits. So it's sort of like getting a whole lot of nothing. Like the woman who was sexually abused by Trump and she got $1 bazillion she was going to put back into abused women. She's never going to see a penny of any of that.
Or especially if he wins. He'll probably have her locked up,
Oh,
E. Jean Carroll.
right. Yeah. Absolutely. And did you see
Yeah.
that? You know how you keep talking about the big October surprise, and I don't know if this is it because
Uh-huh.
people are kind of knowing before it. but there's a whole caravan of migrants that are heading to the border. God guides us. And they're from Venezuela and Colombia and Haiti and they're Afghani and Nepalese. And they're saying that they're hoping they get there before because they will disrupt everything. Trump is like, I guess, really hoping. I wasn't even aware that they were coming, but he kind of squealed first. So I hope they have their eyes peeled down there on the border.
Did we they work for him, they'll let him in. Did we
Yeah.
discuss the Amish for Trump?
No.
So I saw that today that 180,000 Amish, I think it was in Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
came out with their Trump signs and their horses and carriages and everything and voted for Trump. They had their Trump signs and everything. I thought that the Amish religion didn't allow them to get into politics.
Well, they're not supposed to. There was a big separation of church and state. I think they can vote and everything, but they usually don't get into all that. And if they can't have any electronic devices, they must have to actually go to the registrars because you're not doing it on vote.org.
Mm. I wonder did they order those those Trump signs from Amazon since
I
they can't have any electronic devices. Yeah,
and I
okay.
wonder if they're actually real. Kind of like the people that were working in that McDonald's. They were all actors. I wonder if
Yeah,
they're
because
fake Amish.
that McDonald's was closed down, right?
Hmm. Yep, and he's handing stuff out the window, and I'm thinking, who to? Of course they're all that, because would it be safe for a former president to be hanging outside of a drive-through window? No.
I believe he would move the White House to Florida.
Oh, if he could, and we'd have to pay for it, and he'd get to call it
Absolutely.
his own. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm. I don't like it.
Okay. Well, I don't know, Bobby. I'll tell you what though, we have 12 days until we have not just an election. This is so much more than just who we picking to be the president to sit in the seat of the White House. This is really about who we are as a nation. And unfortunately, it don't look good. It does not look, and that's either way.
Hmm.
It just has showed how much hatred and division we have towards each other as a country when we all supposed to be Americans. Because I'm telling you something right now, it can go either way. And anything can happen at any given time, any kind
Yep.
of war. But you got to understand that we are in such a crisis that y'all want to give a man who y'all have seen publicly and yet with your own eyes falling apart at the seams, go off topic, don't know where he at, don't understand babble, gargle his words where he talking about the other old one. Y'all want to give him the codes to some of the greatest weapons in the world? Because if they fire theirs and we fire ours, everybody going. Because if we fire ours, they damn sure gonna fire theirs. This is
Oh,
where we're at.
absolutely. Absolutely. And you want somebody
Listen,
behind that is like in the kindergarten background, calling her
yeah.
nuts, calling her. I mean, she only repeats what he says. Does it sound awful? It does, but it's what he said. He's
This do me
actually
a
just
favor.
being awful.
I want you guys, everybody who is in the sound of my voice, to go and listen to John Kelly, General John Kelly.
Hmm.
Close your eyes and put that on replay. Don't look at him, but close your eyes and hear the fear, the warning, the I'm trying to express to you all how he says what he says. It's not what he says, it's the way he delivers it. I want you to close your eyes and listen to that over and over and over. I promise you, it's gonna hit you in your ass to be like he's trying to give y'all a warning of what he knows is coming.
And if you're in one of our 7 battleground states, please vote. Bring every friend you have. If I knew where you were, I'd drive and I'd
Oh
meet
look,
you and
bring your imaginary friend. Y'all all got one of them. Shit, bring them too. Shit.
bring Trump's imaginary friend. Hmm.
Good God. His imaginary friend, I think name is Arnold Palmer. Okay, and on that note, we want to thank you guys for joining
Hmm.
us here at Laugh and Learn, making us successful. Please tell all of your friends to download us on iHeart or on the Black Effect Network, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. On Bobbi Clifford and Flame Monroe here at Laugh and Learn. We're hoping that you send us topics so that we can discuss, and we hope that we discuss something that teaches you and reaches you because we can't learn without you. And we hope you teach us because Bobby's smarter than me. I'm just on the other
Oh,
side of the fence. Bobby on the good side of the fence. She
oh,
just not
that's
on the quiet side. Could you
no,
imagine ever
never.
being in the movie with Bobby the Quiet Place? We would have been dead. Good God, Bobby won't shut up. We would have been dead, y'all. I ain't gonna even lie. But we thank you guys for joining us. Thank you to our producer, Aaron. Bobby, what is our motto here at Laugh and Learn? Because here at Laugh and Learn, we are never trying to get you to change your mind. We only want you to use your mind. Because why, Bobby?
Because a mind and a vote are a terrible thing to waste. And if
And
I
we
want to
got,
remind everybody, it's October's breast cancer awareness and menopause awareness. Please get your mammograms, ladies.
oh, it's painful. Mine still hurt. Look, make sure that you guys are registered to vote. We have 12 days, y'all. 12 days. Please don't forget this. Please don't disregard this. Don't put this on the back burner. This right here, y'all. There are no do-overs. This is it, and everything will be questionable, and everything will if they go. The temper tantrum will start an avalanche. Let's just say it like that. The temper tantrum
Hmm.
could and probably might start an avalanche. So be prepared on your end for whatever may come. But get y'all ass to the polls. Don't be intimidated. Don't let nobody write on your ballot. Don't you vote the way you want to vote. Don't let nobody touch you. You can't even touch mine. And if I was you, but I ain't, but if I was you, I would mail mine in because the Postmaster General is still the joy who was appointed by Trump while Trump was in office. I'm just saying. Okay. And we can follow you where, Bobby Clifford?
I am at Clifford Bobby on Instagram, Bobby Clifford on Facebook, and I think I'm Bobby Clifford on Twitter as well. And where are you? And can you tell me where you are in 2 weeks?
Oh, I am right now. I am sitting in front of your face. Oh no,
I
I'm
know.
on Instagram. I'm on Monroe Flame. I can go back live again. Thank you for a while. I'm Monroe Flame on Instagram. Flame Monroe 125 on TikTok. Y'all do follow my coffee times in the morning. YouTube Flame Monroe and Marcus Flame Monroe Parker on Facebook and on November the 4th and on voting day the 5th. If you don't want to watch the polls, because I don't want to watch it either. I just want to hear about it. Come hang out with me and Tiffany Haddish at the City Winery in Nashville, Tennessee. November 8th, we will be in New York at the City Winery, and November 22nd and 23rd. If you want tickets, go to tiffanyhaddish.com. All the information is there. Now, my name ain't on it, but you damn sure better know that I'm on all the shows. And yeah, vote.org. Make sure that you are registered. Ladies and gentlemen, this is so imperative that we get this in. I don't know. I can't call it. Usually I can see things. This one I can't even see because I just don't know. I don't know, but I want to know. And I'm going to be in the know so you will know. So make sure you join us here on Laugh and Learn. Okay, Bobby, I'm out. Toots.